guys, Swisher Homestead here. We are doing the biggest ever build on our homestead.
Yep.
This is of vital importance, is self-sufficiency. This is so
Definitely.
we can kick the grocery store to the curb, at least most of it anyway.
For the most part.
So, after long debates and decisions, we are building and research. We are building our garden.
Yep.
We're actually building it. Now, we have started some of it before we got on camera because we wanted to work out some of the kinks, so when we show you, we don't look like complete schmucks.
Yeah, so we didn't have to record and then be like,
stop,
wait a minute,
this isn't right, let's stop recording. But we got it down pat now. We know what we're doing, we know what the measurements are and everything. Here's another thing too, guys. If you want to build this same exact garden, I will be happy to give you all the measurements so you can build it, from everything from all your cuts, your 2x4s, your product list of what you're going to need. But the product list is going to vary on your size of your garden.
Yeah.
So it might be smaller, it might be bigger, you might need more lumber, but I can give you a kind of an idea of what you're going to need for it.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a hands-on thing. As you knew, we previously built a garden over there and tore it down, and that is now our orchard, and now we are building our permanent garden. We want something stable, something that's going to last. Now, we had discussed this a lot. The purpose of us discussing it so much was because of the cost of wood. Wood is so expensive, but you have to weigh in the factors of your wood cost. With what we spend at the grocery store a year versus what we would spend to build our garden, our garden will pay us back in 2 years.
Yep.
Easy 2 years. Plus, we have non-stop access to vegetables.
Yeah.
Everything we want, from onions to cucumbers, you name it, we're going to have it in the garden.
Yep.
Now, this garden right now is a 40 by 60, so 40 foot wide by 60 foot long. It's going to be fully enclosed. We also got another build coming up, just as big, if not the same as this. You guys will get to see that too. That's a special thing for Amy. But we weighed the prices of wood, and wood is so expensive. I mean, it's crazy. It's astronomical right now. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I could have built this thing last year for half the cost of what I paid this year.
Yep.
But who knows when wood's gonna go down. We can't put it on the line. You can't trust grocery stores right now because you don't know what they're gonna have and what they aren't gonna have and what's out there. At least we know what we plant, what we get, what we put in our garden, we're consuming, we'll know what we're getting.
Yeah.
All the pesticides and everything, this is a green garden. There's no pesticides used whatsoever. All natural fertilizers, natural pesticides, stuff that you can get off your land or that you can make with certain products at your house using herbs. So at that point, guys, we're going to get to it. We're going to show you what we're doing and kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like when it's done. But you guys got to stay tuned because I'll be working on this periodically, probably
this is not going to be a one-part video.
Yeah, this is going to be probably like a 6-part video, unfortunately. And I want to do step-by-step with you guys so you guys kind of get to see how to do this stuff and to know when you build yours that it'll come out either similar or better, depending on how good of a woodman you are. So at that point, guys, let's get to work. Amy, let's go. All right, guys, so here's what we've done so far. We put our basic posts in, as you can see right there, and there. We've also built a 2x4 box frame out for our metal that's going to go in there. You'll get to see that in the next video. And we're going to be doing the same all the way around the garden, all the way around this perimeter, and all the way back. So that'll all be filled in. Now we're making the beds 2 foot wide, not 4 foot, because Amy wouldn't be able to reach in there. Me, I would, but she wouldn't. So all the beds on the outer edge will be 2 foot. All the beds on the inside will be 4 foot by probably 4 by 16 or 4 by 8, whatever we decide to do on the inside. Now, as we're doing this, I'm going to go through steps. Now we do have another 22-ton challenge coming to church to fill in some more, and then we'll be done with that. We got one more load coming, and that should be here sometime in the next week. So let's get on to showing you how to build the frame outs for your beds. All right, guys, let's talk about some of the tools you're going to need. One thing you're going to definitely need is a countersink bit, okay? You're going to need a skill saw, of course, chop saw. You're also going to need a jigsaw, and of course, your drill. A set of clamps, Y'all know what this is. I'm gonna tell you what that is. Pencil. I like red. You can see a lot easier. Tape measure and a level. All right. Now, for all of you guys who are builders, I don't really have to go into much with you, but you who are beginners at this, this is a lot of work. You're taking on a big project. So make sure that you do it right. Make sure you check your measurements. I prefer to measure 3 times and cut once, than measure once, cut once, and then be out a whole 2x4, and wood's too expensive to be making mistakes right now. So, let's get these tools moved out of the way over here. Miss Amy finally decided to join us for the work. She's been a slacker today.
Not done yet?
She already asked me if I'm done. So, she's gonna be the slacker. All right. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your bit in. Now I pre-cut all these. All the stuff we're using is all 8-foot boards, so it's all 8 foot. Now what you're gonna do is, I'm gonna hold this up. I'm gonna try to do the best to show you on tape. You're gonna take and you're gonna countersink, and the reason why you're countersinking is so that your wood doesn't split on you, because the last thing you want to do is have your wood split and then the 2x4 is wasted. So always use a countersink bit when you're doing stuff like this. So I'm gonna lay this down. I'm gonna drill this. So you can see that I drilled the holes for the countersink of the bits, and that's to go into our cuts, these long 2x4s that I pre-cut right here. Alright guys, so what we're going to do, and the reason why I specified the clamps is for this specific purpose. That's going to sound, well, there it is. Stuff, I got too much junk over here from all my cuts. Alright, much better. So what we're going to do, and it's a lot easier if you have somebody to help you do this than you do it yourself. Alright, so you're going to squeeze that tight. Now just let that go for a second. Now I do have 2 drills, and I do use 2 drills, but if most of you only have 1, you're going to have to keep switching them out. Alright. So these are the screws that we're using. These are Tech screws. These are good for patios, for building decks, and doing major construction. These have a coating on them so they won't deteriorate from any chemicals that are in the pressure treated wood, nor will it do from the rain, water, and dirt that it's going to be involved in. So they should last a long time. So we're going to put our first one in here. Just get it started, slightly started. Don't go too crazy with it right away. Alright, and then just screw it in. Now see, I already screwed up. But I can fix it. It helps when you got 2 people, when you're not 1 person. But so to make sure that doesn't happen again, I'm going to take my framing square and put it on here so I know it's square. It's square now. Alright. Alright, that's part 1 of it. Make sure to screw it in a little more. There we go. Now we're going to do the same to the other side. We're not going to show you on that on video because you've seen do the one. You're going to do the top the same way. You're going to rotate it, put all your screws in. Just remember, use a really good screw and make sure to pre-drill your holes. Otherwise you're going to have splits, and we don't want splits. So let's get making these. I've got probably, I don't know, and about 30 of them to make. So we're gonna get to that now. Hey guys, day 3 of the build out of the new garden. Wow, pretty beat, but I'm gonna keep going. I got some rain coming in tomorrow, so I got to get done what I can get done today. If you haven't seen, we built a frame out of 8 foot by 2 foot tall, because the beds will be 2 foot tall all the way around. We did a build out of the framing. Now on that back of that framing, we're going to add something to that. You get to see that later on in a little bit of this video. And we're just going to get to town. I got some more posts to put in. I got about 15 posts to dig out, so you're going to get to see me dig those out, and we're getting there, and it's starting to actually look like something. We've had a few technical difficulties with some stuff. As far as making sure everything is level is kind of hard here, because the way the grade goes kind of like this, we're trying to get it leveled off. So right now when you look at certain things, it's going to look like it's going uphill or it's going downhill, depending on what the ground situation is. Now we've decided we're going to build everything level all the way around, and then we'll get to see our low spots and our high spots, and we'll know where to take it down. We have had to pre-dig some of the front of the garden out so we could get everything level and get it down, put in place where it needs to be at. But we are getting there slowly. So basically today you're going to get to see me use the post hole diggers. You get to see me build maybe a couple more frames, and then you're going to be able to get to see us do our attachments to our frames that we're building. Now remember, all this stuff that we're using on the outside of the bed is all pressure treated, and some of the inside will be pressure treated too. I know a lot of you say, oh, probably should use cedar and that. Let me tell you, with the price of wood right now, cedar is about double what it was before, so you're going to pay double the price. I did go through, I tried to find some sawmills that would do some wood for us. They were too expensive, so we had to go with what we can afford. All the beds will be lined, all the ground will be covered with fabric, all that stuff will be done here on these videos coming up. I just want you guys to see what we have to go through to build an existing, not an existing, but to build our garden for the rest of our lives. This is a one and done garden. I don't want to do any more than I have to, as far as I don't want to have to be repairing all the time, and we will have maintenance, but you know, I don't want to have to replace this. So this, we're looking, it's probably going to last us about 27, maybe 30 years if we take care of it. Another thing is too is, you know, you can't really do anything to pressure treat it until after at least a year old, and then you can add something to seal it up even more. I will put eventually a little thing in there for you for a stain that is all natural. It won't hurt you. It's a little expensive, but it is worth it in the process to do it. So enough of this talking. I got to get some work done. I got rain coming tomorrow, so they say, but in Tennessee, look up at the sky now, look up at it tomorrow. It could be sunny tomorrow. You never know with Tennessee. So as far as the weathermen are concerned, who knows? So let's get to work, guys. All right, guys, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to run a string from one post to the other, so we can find out to make sure that we stay in our objective of our line that we need to do. Now each one of these posts will be set with one of these. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but I'll lift it up so you kind of get an idea. But this is what we're putting in. So what I like to do, this is just me, it makes it easier. If I can get the thing to get untangled over there. There's always technical difficulties. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to wrap it around this way, and we're going to go down to our other pole at the other end. So we'll run this down so we get our straight line for a pole. That's what you guys get to see me walk down there. to measure out from our board that I've got made up, and we're going to go ahead and put our posts in. All right, guys, so we got our post measurement of where the post needs to go. Now we get the fun thing. Go through all the roots, which is always a fun time. Alright guys, so I have this all level now. Now I want you guys to remember is I did not put any concrete down there at all. No concrete down there. Reason why is this is going to be formed out to where you really won't need to have the concrete in there for the pillars. There's going to be nothing climbing up it. There's going to be nothing. I mean, basically, you really don't need to waste the money for concrete. I do put the poles in the ground some to give it some stability, but that's only why we're putting it together. Once we get this all framed in, this thing will be solid. As solid as a house when we're done with it. But right now, I don't want to put concrete in my ground. I don't like to do that in the first place. I don't like to put that in there. It's an object to the soil that doesn't really need to be there. So guys, how you doing? So far, as you can see, we got some of it filled in now. Looks good, don't it? We're working on it, so It's a long process, a lot of work, a lot of cutting, a lot of putting in the metal. Man, a lot of work, and I still got a lot more to go. I'm about a hair of it done, as you can see. But it looks good. Worked out. These would be our raised beds. It's actually 2 foot tall, which is where it should be at. I got cross supports in the tops and the bottom. That's so there won't be a lot of push out. You can tell over there how high we are and how much we got to fill in. So the trucks are going to be coming. But we can only do little bits at a time. So we're trying to get this run and then down there done. So that way we can at least start planting some stuff here to get something this year. I'm thinking it'll probably be done sometime in April. I'll have the outer edge. We won't be doing any inside beds until next year. We can't afford it. This was very expensive. More than what we really could afford to spend, honestly. But, you know, what you spend at the grocery store, it might as well spend it here. So, I know we got it. Looks good. It's working out well. All these are cut at 2 foot. All the spacers for the poles are all at right on the edge of 2 foot. Actually, it'd be 24 inches to center. And we drop in. We did our cutouts around. I just used an old template from one of the logs that I cut off, and I just used that. It doesn't matter if it's perfect or not, you know. But it looks good. It's capable. You can sit on the edge now. You can do your gardening and your weeding. This part of the bed is the only bed that's going to be 3 inches, or 3 feet, sorry. And the reason for it being 3 feet is we can reach in and grab what we need from the other side. This will have a fence. But the reason why we did that is because last year when we planted our zucchini plants, they averaged about 3 to 4 feet out. So this will be perfect for our zucchini and our squash plants. So we'll probably have 4 plants in here. No more than 4. 4 was enough for us. It fed us all summer, and I love zucchini and squash. As a matter of fact, I had a good squash casserole recipe that I'll do when we get some squash from our plants. But anyway, so that's what this is going to be used for. This is going to be used strictly for a squash. We had bought potatoes and onions, not knowing that we would be doing this or not doing this. We have to get them planted. So the row I'm working on right now, which is right over here, this section, this is going to be where we're going to plant our onions and our potatoes. So all that will be onions and potatoes all the way down. That's 40 foot long, so you know. So it's a 40 by, it's basically a 40 by 40 garden, 40 feet by 40 feet. As you can see, we're going to have a lot of room for beds in the center, for garden beds in the center. We might have a few tomato plants planted out here on the edge, so they get most of the sun for most of the day, but I think it'll work out pretty good. So at that point, guys, I'm about beat. I got some more stuff I got to do. We'll keep coming in and showing you more and more as we get it done, and you know how we're filling it in, and the truckloads of chert we got coming. And we'll just keep just digging away at it until we get it done. And don't know how many videos it's going to be, but it's going to probably be quite a few videos. But we're getting there. It looks good. It's a lot of work though. It's more than I thought it was good. I thought, oh, I'll just throw it. Yeah, no. A lot of measuring, a lot of supports. You know, you have to take weight and factors of the weight for your soil and what you're going to have there. I had a lot of research done on this. I've been doing this since fall last year, researching on how I wanted to build this. This is how I wanted to build it, and it's come out exactly the way I wanted it to. I've taken my time. I haven't been in a rush. If this takes me 3 months, it takes me 3 months to build. I really don't care. I'm not in a rush. There's no reason to be in a rush. So, well, at that point, guys, this is the start of the biggest build on our homestead yet, and I mean the biggest build. And the most expensive build on our homestead so far. And you guys are going to get to see it all come together. When I start doing some more of the other work on the backside, I'll do some more camera work, kind of show you how I put things in place, how I'm building it, how I'm doing it. I kind of wanted to get all the kinks worked out and kind of work on how I was going to do it, come up with some different ideas. And I did come up with some different ideas, and I did change some things. So now that we're set and we know, and it's pretty much an easy run from here. I mean, it's basically run down, corner, run down, fill them in and brace them, and you're done. This part right here was the hardest because our gate is going to be right over there. Let me see, get that camera turned over there so you can see where the gate's going to be at. See, the gate's going to be right there. So we got the gate there, and then we got to do the other side of the gate. So we'll have that done. But I mean, for what I did in short amount of time, you know, I think I did pretty good. It looks good. Come over here, let you guys see this side. See it from a corner view. And that's pretty much our garden. Well, guys, this is Swisher Homestead. If you guys want to know or watch more about these videos, got any questions, leave them down below. I'll be glad to answer them. You need any measurements or anything, ask me. I'll be glad to tell you the measurements. It's a repetitive deal here. It's really simple. It's not hard, but it's costly. But long term, we got a garden that's going to last us probably 30, 40 years. So at that point, guys, we'll see you later. Don't forget, hit that subscribe, that like button, and hey, tell your friends about us. This is a real deal. We moved here from the city like some other people did, and we started off not knowing anything, and we're doing it all in a learning experience. Thank God I've done some construction before. So all right, guys, well, I'll talk to you later. You have a good one now. God bless.